My name is Ujwal. I'll be your examiner for this part of the test. Our conversation is being recorded for clerical purposes. The time right now is 12:30 p.m. and we'll conduct this exam in Butwal. The speaking has 3 parts and I'll be giving you instructions for each. May I see your identification, please?
Sure, here it is.
All right, thank you. Let's start with your daily routine. What is your daily routine?
So my daily routine isn't the same every day. These days, I have been waking up at around 8 a.m. Then I go downstairs for my breakfast with my mom. In between my breakfast and lunch, I just scroll through my phone, and I have my lunch at around 10 a.m. Then after my lunch, I usually film content for my YouTube videos. Then after, I grab my snacks, and I also like to go on a walk with my mom. I have my dinner at around 7 p.m. Then I usually watch movies and then just go to sleep.
So do you think it is important to have a daily routine?
I think it's beneficial to have a daily routine because I feel like it makes a person well organized throughout the day. A person who has a daily routine are very organized and they know exactly what to do throughout the day. But for a person who does not have a daily routine, I feel like they lack on knowing what to do.
Okay, so let's talk about your home. Where is your home?
So my home is in Manigram, which is a beautiful place in Nepal. I have been living there for, I think, all my life. So it has also been declared as one of the cleanest places in Nepal.
Okay, and what would you like to change about your home?
There isn't much that I would like to change about my home, but if I had to say one thing, I think I'd want my brother to be back here at home. So he lives in abroad, and I'd want him to be here so that we can have some more fun.
Okay, now let's move on to talk about your childhood. Did you enjoy your childhood?
I would say so. I enjoyed my childhood quite thoroughly because we are 2 siblings, my brother and me. So back then we didn't used to have internet. So we used to play outdoors, have all the fun activities. So I enjoyed my childhood.
Now, what is your first memory of your childhood?
So there isn't something specific I can call the first memory of my childhood. But definitely looking back, I feel like the magic videos that my brother and I used to make on our Nokia C5, I feel like that is a specific memory that I can recall and cherish forever.
Okay, now let's talk about your family. Do you spend much time with your family?
Right now, I can actually spend much more time with my family. But when I was in hostel, I could not spend much time with them because I lived away from home. But these days, I have been spending quite a lot of time with them.
Who are you closest to your family?
I think I'd say both because I have different kinds of conversations with both of them. But if I had to choose one, I think I'm more comfortable with my mom and closer to her because I can share a lot of things that I would not share to my father.
What makes you smile?
A lot of things make me smile, actually. So I smile when I'm nervous. I smile when I look at children. But I think the widest smiles comes on my face when I get genuine compliments for my work, like my videos. When people tell me that they're inspired by my work, that's when I smile the most.
So do you think people in your country are generally happy people?
I think yes. Nepali people are the happiest people in the world, I think so, because we are happiest in the smallest of the things. We don't chase big things to be happy, and the smallest, the finest things are something that makes us the happiest.
Thank you. With that, we come to the end of the speaking test part 1. Now we will be moving forward to the next part of the test. Okay, for the second part of the test, you will be given a cue card. You'll have a minute to prepare for your answers, and you'll need to speak for about 2 minutes. Please, your time starts now.
I think I'd love to be an actor someday in the future because the job of acting has always been very appealing to me. I've loved the way actors live. Also, many people go through the process of auditioning to get the job. But if a person is very popular already, they don't have to go through the process of auditioning because they can simply just make a call to their connections and get the job. For me, I think I love to go through the auditioning process because I think in itself it is a teaching process that teaches a person a lot about acting and other different process. So I love to go through the auditions. I think it's also important to make connections to get the job because a person who has links and connections can make it big in life. So I think I do that. So one thing that really fascinates me about the actors or, just simply being an actor would be that their life is amazing. The people love actors. They're really fascinated by their work and the way they behave in general. So I think I'd also want to get all the love from people one day. So that is another reason for me to be wanting to be an actor.
So what factors should people take into account when choosing a job?
I think there are several factors that a person needs to take into account before choosing a job. For me personally, I think I need to be passionate about the job I'm choosing. So passion would be one factor because if I'm not passionate about a job, I don't think I'd be interested in it. So for a person that has some financial struggles, monetary factors may also be important while choosing a job. So if a job that does not pay well doesn't make any sense to a person that's in financial needs. So these are two factors.
Okay, which is more important for young people, an interesting or well-paid job?
I think it depends on the financial condition of a young person. So for a person that has a well-to-do family or he or she does himself well, I don't think they need to search for a well-paid job. But for a person that has financial struggles may want to look for a job that's well-paying. So for me, an interesting job would be the one that I choose.
Are difficult jobs more interesting to do than easy ones?
I think it depends on the job. So there are many examples of jobs that are extremely difficult, but at the same time, they're very interesting. For instance, the job of a pilot. I feel like they have so much of interesting things to do, yet they're risking their lives. So there are other jobs that are difficult as well as uninteresting at the same time. So for example, the cleaning job that can be seen to be very difficult to do, but at the same time, it's not interesting to do as well. So I think it really depends on the kinds of the job that we choose to do.
Do people regret their career choices when they're old?
I think if a person is not passionate about what they're doing, there is a chance that they will regret it in the future. There has to be love for what we do. So if a person chooses something that they really love, I don't think they would regret doing it in future.
And do you think young people complain more now than in the past?
Young people definitely complain these days about their jobs. I was just recently seeing a video of a US citizen complaining about their job. But I think it's possible because of the social media that the world is so globalized that I get to see people complaining so far away from me. At the same time, I also think people would have complained in the past. But since there was no social media back in those days, we were not able to see it or hear about it. But I definitely think that people have complained in the past and they continue to do so.
Okay, thank you so much. With that, we come to the end of the speaking test. Okay, overall, the speaking test was really good. The fluency and cohesion part was pretty well covered. I can see that you were pretty much fluent while you were speaking. And the grammar section was also successfully covered. You didn't make much grammatical mistakes, but there were certain grammatical mistakes, right? Most of the people, they have to make sure that they focus on subject-verb agreement while they're speaking. They also need to make sure that they don't mix up the tenses, right? Some people, they have a tendency to mix up the tenses. They're certainly talking about present, but they mix future and past tense in between, right? Pronunciation was also good. Basically, these are the 4 factors out of which you are judged, right? There is also another thing, normally most people do not know. Your CFR level, Pani Cambridge Dictionary, you can see, right? Suppose you're using a word, let's say easy for an example. Easy Bani Shabda, you know that during writing or speaking, you're using it once. देन देयर आर अदर हायर लेभल वर्ड्स होइन जुन चाहिँ तपाईँको ऱ्याङ्किङको हिसाबसित A1 भएपछि B1 अलिकति माथि भयो, B1 भन्दा C1 अलिकति माथि भयो होइन. त्यसमा चाहिँ तपाईँको इजीको सट्टा कन्भिनियन्ट भन्ने शब्द युज गर्न पायो हो. इट भोकाबुलरीको सेक्सनमा इट ग्यादर मोर मार्क्स फर यु होइन. बट यदि तपाईँले इजी भन्ने शब्द रेपिटेटिभ कन्भिनियन्ट भनेर रिपिट गर्नुभयो, त्यस्तै इक्जाम्पल इन्ट्रेस्टिङ छ, इन्ट्रेस्टिङलाई इन्ट्रिगिङ पनि भन्छ होइन. इन्ट्रिगिङ भन्ने मात्रै शब्द नि इन्ट्रिगिङ हाई छ भनेर युज गर्नुभयो, त्यसरी झन् बिकज युआर युजिङ द वर्ड्स रिपिटेटिभली तपाईँको मार्क्स झन् लो हुन्छ हो. सो धेरै वर्ड्स जस्तो कि तपाईँले इन्ट्रेस्टिङ पनि युज गर्नु, इन्ट्रिगिङ पनि युज गर्नु, इजी नि बनाएछ, कन्भिनियन्ट पनि बनाएछ, वर्डको भेराइटिजहरू युज गर्नुभयो भने तपाईँको भोकाबुलरीको सेक्सनमा मार्क्स हाई आउनसक्छ हो. बाँकी ग्रामर र फ्लुएन्सी तपाईँको कोहिजनहरू त मिस्टेक हुनै भएन होइन. सो यु सक्सेसफुली म्यानेज टु स्पिक क्वाइट वेल. र आई क्यान सी हजुरले के गर्न सक्छ भने हाम्रो यो पार्ट 2 मा चाहिँ मेनी पिपल दे मेक मिस्टेक्स, दे स्पिक भेरी फास्ट है. दो दे आर भेरी गुड एट स्पिकिङ एन्ड दे क्यान क्लियरली टेल वाट दे आर ट्राइङ टु से, बट तिनीहरू चाहिँ टाइममा चाहिँ अलिकति चाहिने भन्दा छिटो भ्याइदिन्छ होइन. एन्ड द्याट युजली ह्यापन्स बिकज दे डोन्ट टेक पज इन बिट्विन हो. आफ्नो सेन्टेन्सेसहरूको बिचमा पज लिनु पऱ्यो होइन. अनि हामीहरूले बोलिसकेपछि पनि हामीले वी निड टु मेक स्योर द्याट वी डोन्ट स्पिक भेरी फास्ट. वी निड टु मेक स्योर हामीहरू प्रपर स्लो बोल्छौँ, स्टेडी बोल्छौँ होइन. रेस्ट पार्ट 3 अफ द टेस्ट इट सुड बी अ बिट लङ्गर देन वाट यु स्पोकन इन पार्ट 1 अफ द टेस्ट, एन्ड यु हेभ सक्सेसफुली म्यानेज्ड to speak accordingly.